Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, did you know that Anchor is sponsoring our show?
Really? Don't we use Anchor to distribute our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, and we are on just about every other platform available as well, thanks to them.
Why do we use Anchor as our podcasting service?
Well, they make editing and distributing our show a breeze.
What if one of our listeners wants to start their own podcast?
Then they should head over to anchor.fm or download the app to get started.
Awesome! You guys should go do that right now! Husband!
Wife!
We are doing a Q&A Saturday!
We sure the fuck are.
Do you know what we're queuing and do you have any A's?
I know the cues were about people that we heard about in the last couple of chapters. Mm-hmm. But honestly, right now, at this current time in space and everything...
Just say no.
I can't remember their fucking names.
It's kind of like when I always say D for D's nuts, and you're like, why? Why do you always do that? And I'm like, why don't you ever just say no?
Right.
Because we are who we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So here's what we are going to cue.
Okay.
Okay. In Joshua chapter 14, there was a mention of a place or some guy named Arba.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk about him.
Okay.
And then in the very next chapter, Joshua chapter 15, there was some mention of the stone of Bohan, and we were like,
yeah, like that's just
the
random.
Fuck is that? So random.
And there was some dude's son or something like that.
Yeah, and we
like,
were like, what? Yeah. So we're going to talk about those two things since they're back to back, and there wasn't like a whole lot on either one, so I thought we'd hit both since.
No, I like the random facts, like not facts. I'm sorry, that was a misstatement, but
the random
little trivia shit in the Bible. So those are the fun things for me to like.
Well, and there will be some facts
to.
that we bring in, so that'll be fun.
All right, well let's get on with this.
Okie dokie. Okay, so Joshua chapter 14, verse 15 said, previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, a great hero of the descendants of Anak. Okay?
And who the fuck is Arba?
Right. Well, I don't know if you remember, but we did talk about Anak a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
He was a giant.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, so Arba was the greatest man among the Anakites.
Okay.
And then his son was Anak.
Ah.
Okay. And those guys, those tall giant guys.
Yeah.
They were referred to sometimes as the Nephilim and sometimes as the giants, and sometimes the giants were the Nephilim. Do you remember all of this?
Yeah, I remember there was some like confusion as to who was what and what was
fallen angels versus giants, or the way that they became giants was by being the descendants of fallen angels who mingled with men.
Right, and whether or not Og hitched a ride on the freaking ark.
Noah's Ark. Yeah. So there was all that. So I didn't really want to get into like a replay of all that.
Okay.
But I did want to say that, so Arba was Anak's father.
Okay.
Okay. And then Anak had 3 sons named, who were specifically referred to as Nephilim.
Okay.
Okay. Not giants, Nephilim.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his 3 sons were Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai.
Okay.
Sheshai means son of Anak, which, that tracks.
Got it.
And that's all I could find on him, just on the briefest of Googling and searching. I mean, like I said, I didn't go too far into this.
We couldn't reference the, Vatican's library or something.
Right. Nor would I have, quite honestly. Again, not an academic or a scholar.
Right.
Just a person of interest.
Also, at this point, I don't think they'd let us in the front doors.
Oh, jeez. Probably not. So Sheshai means son of Anak, which, that tracks. Okay. The second son was Ahiman, and he had 3 different names.
Okay.
Or 3, his name, let me start over. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. Let's edit that in post-production. Okay. So, his name has 3 different, possible definitions, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Either brother of the right hand, brother of a gift, or liberal. But I don't think they meant liberal versus conservative liberal.
Right, obviously.
Just I'm trying to think brother of the right hand and brother of a gift, meaning he was thought of more in relation to his brother than himself.
Sure.
Kind of when we go to your family's house, I am, your wife, not who I am.
Sure.
And, vice versa, when we go to my family's house, you're my husband, not whoever your name is.
Right.
So that's what I got out of that he was not really renowned for much other than being so-and-so's brother.
All right.
Okay. And the last guy was Talmai, and his name generally means my furrows, which at first I thought you meant furrowed brow or something. And I was like, what, was he a really angry dude and had a facial tick? But then I looked a little bit further and it meant furrows refers to furrows of land, when furrow, he was rich in land.
Got it.
Is what that means.
Yeah.
Also, the name Ptolemy comes from that name.
Okay.
And the English Bartholomew comes from that name.
Oh.
So, Talmai could mean from the Greek son of Ptolemy, or the English Bartholomew. He was the king of Geshur, or Geshur.
Okay.
Okay. And Geshur was the father of Maacah. Remember the Macarena?
Yeah.
Who married King David. Now, I know that we're going to read more about King David in future chapters.
Right.
So I stopped immediately and slammed the door on that because that's
I'm done. That's it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Right.
Because, I know the name. I know that there's 2 books of Kings. And I also know, I don't want to say I know that there's a book of David. I think that David is a book. I could be wrong. David is a character. I know that.
Right.
Okay.
Obviously.
So, and I clearly don't know the names of the books of the Bible.
Right.
Or else I'd be able to tell you for sure.
Just random ones here and there.
Yeah. So, but I know that we are going to read more about this King David guy.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, anyway, he was king of Geshur and the father of Maacah, who married King David. Okay. Now, Maacah and David had 2 girls. Okay. Tamar, who was raped by Amnon, and we read about this.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you recall.
I don't.
The 2, because I remember the names. I remember the name Maacah but not like in reference to what. So Maacah and David had Tamar, who was raped by Amnon, and Absalom, who slew Amnon and then subsequently fled back to Geshur.
Damn.
Yeah. So that sounds all right with me.
Yeah.
But not the rape part.
Right. The slaying.
Slaying. Thank you.
The slaughter of.
The slaughter thereof, the rapist. Yeah. So that's about all I really jotted down about that Anak guy, Arba. Because Arba. Sorry. Anak is what sticks in my head because they are known as the Anakites.
Right.
Which comes from the name Anak.
Yeah.
Which all came from Arba.
Right.
So there's that.
Okay.
So that's that for that one.
That's that for that one.
Okay. Then we're moving on to the stow of the stone. Shut up. Oh my God. Okay. Get your shit together. Okay. The stone of Bohan. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is from Joshua chapter 15, verse 6.
Yeah, it really threw me for a loop.
The stone of Bohan, and Bohan was Reuben's son.
Right.
Okay. So that's that verse.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get into a little bit of confusion here because, excuse you? Okay, so just to clarify, the Stone of Bohan was one of the landmarks as we were going through in this last chapter, like all the different lands that they were splitting up.
Got it. Is it still visible to this day?
Not that I know of, but that's beside the point. I'm just trying to give you some clarity on, do you remember, like, where it came in? Like, we're dividing up all this fucking land.
Yes, it was a land marker for the land.
Right. The Stone of Bohan marked the border between the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin. Now, I don't know, do you remember who Judah and Benjamin and Reuben and all them guys were?
I know Reuben is one of the tribes that's east of the Jordan River.
No. I'm not asking you, like, where they are. I'm just asking you, like, do you know who these kids are?
Weren't they Joseph's brothers?
Yeah, they were Jacob's sons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Joseph was one of those sons. Joseph was the one with the multicolored coat that was sold into slavery that became the right-hand man of Ptolemy, actually.
Right.
So... anyway, that's kind of important-ish in recalling who all these tribes and people are.
Got it.
Okay? Like, I didn't realize that before we read the Bible, that, like, that story is actually the beginning of all of these tribes and people. That all of the tribes that we know descend from
it's easy to get lost in the story at the time and not really realize what this means for later.
Exactly.
They don't really pull it all together.
They don't ever pull it together, and that's my biggest problem with remembering history, is the pulling it together part.
Right.
You know, like, you could tell me 10 different things, but if you don't tell me how they come together and who is the son of what, and, like, remember that one guy. So this whole time we've been talking about that. Remember the musical about the kid with his fucking Technicolor magic wonder coat?
Right.
Like, that is where all of these Bible stories descend from.
Right.
Those are the tribes.
Yep.
Okay. So that's important here because we're about to mention some shit.
Okay.
Okay. So that verse mentions the Stone of Bohan and says Bohan was Reuben's son.
Yep.
And that's where we pull up and say, I'm sorry, excuse you, what? Because Bohan was not Reuben's son according to the Bible.
Huh.
Also, the Bible.
Wait, but it also says it's his son.
Right, exactly. But according to Genesis, Reuben only had 4 sons that were recorded in the Bible.
Damn.
The sons of Reuben were Hanok, Phalu, and Hezron, and Carmi.
Ooh.
And that is Genesis chapter 46, verse 9.
Interesting.
So there's a few different theories about who this kid was, okay? That he had a stone. Before I get into that, I know, I'm sorry, I'm like bouncing all over the place here, but you know how I get when I'm like super excited about learning new stuff?
I know.
I love learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we talk about, who the fuck was Bohan?
Right.
Let's talk about the fact that it's a stone that brings it to our attention.
Yeah.
Okay? So, stone. These stones are like mentioned throughout the Old Testament as altars. They're always putting stones.
Right.
They're always putting altars.
Yep.
They're always like stopping and saying, let's remember this place forever and ever because of XYZ super duper important event, or super awesome guy, or super terrible deal that went wrong. Right?
Put a stack of stones there. That's going to be visible to this day.
Yes, to this day. So the fact that there is a stone named after this guy, like, that means something.
Significant.
It is significant. And the fact that whether the name is mentioned ever again before and after
right.
is almost less relevant than the fact that, but something happened.
He has a stone.
Yeah.
So
that's a big deal.
There's something there.
Yeah, something happened. That's a big deal.
Right.
Okay. So back to who the fuck and why. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Bohan, one thing that is suggested is that perhaps he was one of the illegitimate sons by his wife or concubine. I can't fucking remember. Bilba, I think her name was.
Got it.
And, that would make sense. But,
I guess.
Like, yeah, I guess, whatever. But even at that, it's like, and so?
But then he should have never been referred to as Reuben's son, right? Like, if he's an illegitimate.
Or how come the other actual ones didn't get stones every which way that got mentioned? So might he have been? Yes, but that still doesn't explain. But why did he get a stone, though? Not just for being son, legitimate or otherwise. Like, they weren't just they were throwing altars around, but there was always a reason.
Yeah.
Not just, I like that name real bad.
This isn't like, it is kind of like the Hollywood stars, like only important people get stones.
That is such a fucking great analogy. The Hollywood stars. Yeah, like, you always know when you go there, okay, they got a Hollywood star. They were in some movie or were some kind of entertainer.
Right.
They weren't just like Madonna's child, the end. Like, no, that's not the way that works.
Right.
Yeah, perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So here's other things that were suggested that I came across. So remember when we were talking about how only 70 people actually left or went down from Canaan to Egypt?
Yes.
And that somehow while they were in Egypt under slavery, they became a nation, and we were like, what?
Right. Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, so that was pointed out, like, hey, don't forget that only 70 people actually left Canaan.
Right.
So they were like, what if some people, just as you and I suggested, what if some of the people, like, that were not related specifically to, what's his name? Jacob.
Okay.
And his boys.
Yeah.
His 500 boys.
Right.
Like, what if people had actually remained behind in Canaan, right?
Okay.
And did not go with Jacob and his sons to Egypt to become, slaves after the one guy in charge died and had forgotten who Joseph was. Like, at one point, Joseph had helped all of Egypt out of, slavery, or not out of slavery, but avoid drought and famine and all that. But then the main Egypt guy in charge died, and as another one came in, what are those guys called again? The Egypt guys.
The pharaohs?
Pharaoh, thank you. I had Ptolemy in my brain, and I could not think of Pharaoh, because they both start with P. So, the new Pharaoh comes in, and he's like, I don't know who you are. I have no special tie to you guys from Canaan, and made them slaves. Right? So there were people back in Canaan still left behind, and so then when these Israelites left Egypt to go back to the promised land, back to Canaan from whence they came. It's funny, this is like exactly what you and I had talked about maybe having happened, that they bumped into their old boys and were like, hey, but give us our land back.
Right, yeah.
And so it's suggested, what if one of them was this Bohan dude? Okay?
Sure.
And I know that was like a really roundabout way of saying, what if it was that?
Yeah.
Okay. Still. So.
But he still didn't get listed as one of Reuben's sons.
Right. Exactly. So the theory that is most suggested is, okay, maybe he was an illegitimate son. Maybe he was just one of the great grandkids that didn't travel. Whatever. We don't care. Yes or no doesn't really matter. Obviously, this was the sepulchral moment of a Reubenite leader who had been distinguished for his bravery and had fallen in the Canaanite War, and the stone was placed for some notable exploit which he did there.
Just some notable exploit.
Some notable exploit.
That was lost to history at this point.
And yeah, there's literally no Nothing in the Bible talks about it and tells us what that exploit
Just
might
that
have been.
one little fucking line.
Just the fact that there is that one
See,
thing.
like, this is the kind of shit that if you were going to rewrite the Bible,
You'd
you
have
just
to
strike that one from the fucking
You'd have
record.
to edit it out because you have no
There is
way
no
of
follow-up.
Yeah, you
Right?
don't know who this guy is and what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He
absolutely
did
pointless.
something. He did something that was great, but if it wasn't important enough to the overall story to warrant any kind of explanation,
Yeah.
then
It's shit like this that makes me say, this is not God's word. God's
Right.
word would let us know for sure what that is. It wouldn't just
Right.
randomly mention things that it doesn't follow up on.
right,
Like,
exactly.
this is stupid.
It is. It's stupid.
Like, you can tell that the Bible is just a mix mash of, like, all these different stories and collections of
And
ideas.
men's words,
Right.
not God's words, men's words,
Yeah.
because it's trash.
Right.
And any God that you would choose to believe in would be so much more organized and cleaner a storyteller than that.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
it's such a mess. It has to be men.
The
because
part that
men
kills me
are stupid.
about this whole thing is, like, when you call people out on this, right, and say, look, this isn't God's word. This is stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, well, men wrote it, but then later they'll be like, well, it's God's word. And it's like, pick one and stick with it.
Or they'll say, well, of course men wrote it, but they were guided by God. And I'm like, so where was the failing?
Right, yeah.
And if you're telling me that the failing can't be God's and the failing was men, then that right there delegitimizes every single thing, because you're saying that if you think you know the definition, then that part counts.
Right.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you get to be the judge of which parts were interpreted correctly? Let me guess, you're a white man and
You just know the best
and the
answer.
end, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Isn't that fucking convenient for you? Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are our non-answers for today.
Okay.
Okay?
Those are some good, non-answers.
Right? I get swallowed up and I start going down rabbit holes and...
No, that's what it's all about. Like, I don't know, like, some of my favorite things that we've discovered along this journey that we're doing reading the Bible have been just like the weird shit like Nimrod and
Right.
and
Nephilim are giants, but maybe not.
Right. I mean, just like the weird offhanded shit is kind of the coolest stuff to me.
Look, here is how far down the rabbit hole I went today. It took me towards the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh wow.
And there's a book among the Dead Sea Scrolls called the Book of Giants.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's all about Nephilim and shit.
I need to read that.
I know. So, I mean, Dead Sea Scrolls is right up there with shit that we will be attacking someday.
Right.
But, I had to literally pull myself back and put my phone down.
We're not there yet.
I'm not there
We're
yet.
not there yet.
But it was so interesting, and that's why we're doing this, because it's just interesting and fun, and we want to be able to get through the Bible.
Right. And honestly, I am learning quite a bit.
Yep.
Like, we tell me if I'm wrong. We hear mentions of the Bible, and we both kind of look at each other now and are like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we know,
I know
that.
what that is.
We know that bit
That's
now.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Or we'll hear a reference and we'll be like, we're not there yet. Spoilers, God damn it. Which, I mean, for a book that's several thousand years old, and we're like, spoilers. That's so funny.
But for you and me who have missed out on all these years, decades of our lives not knowing anything really significant about the Bible.
Yeah.
And now we are kind of we're literally reading it word for word.
Right.
And we know some shit. It's just
oh,
that's it opens up this whole other world of, that's what these fuckers are talking about.
Right, exactly.
I know what that's about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be able to say, I know what you're talking about, and I don't think you know what you're talking about. That's the best
That's why I want to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
All right, so we've gone on, rambled long enough here.
My bad, sorry.
Yeah. All right, so tomorrow is our weekly roundup replay thing. Mm-hmm. And then on Monday, we will be coming back with
Joshua chapter 16.
Yeah, that one. All right, we'll see you guys. I
just wanted to put out there, okay. I think that we are going to be working on one of our special patron episodes.
Yes.
So if you are a patron, be on the lookout for that, because it's for you guys. If you're not a patron, you're going to want to get in there, because we're having some interesting conversations.
It'll definitely be done in the next few days for sure, 100% maybe.
Dot.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Husband.
Yes, wife?
Remember how you told me we're on Patreon now?
Yeah, why?
Because we're starting something new for Patreon members only. Every couple of weeks, we'll cover something in the news, a current event, or something we feel strongly needs to be discussed. And only subscribers get to hear our discussion.
That's right. It's all for our Patreon members as a thank you for their support. Join now for as little as $2 a month to get all of our extra content. Go to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Do it now. Husband, it's the end.
It is indeed, wife.
Tell the people where they can contact us.
Well, they can get a hold of us via our email, which is sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. We have Twitter at sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh, why do you know? Why do you keep doing that? Ugh. All right, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Pinterest page. But if you really want to get our attention, Twitter's where it's at.
Twitter is where you're at.
Yeah.
And they should also review, like, and subscribe, yeah?
Definitely. Apple Podcasts reviews help us out tremendously. And we also can use your support on Patreon, which is a great place to support us as well. That would be at patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.